chicken is all dipped, sizzling, crunchy. Hey everyone, welcome to this week's recipe. This week, I'm going to show you guys how to make buffalo wings. I've been having a really bad craving for buffalo wings and it's driving me crazy. I have to make these wings, and how can I make them even better? I'm going to double fry them Korean style. So we're going to make double fried Korean wings, douse it in a homemade buffalo sauce, and we're going to dip it in our homemade ranch dressing. So let's get started. So to start on our ranch dressing, we're going to do equal parts sour cream, mayo, and buttermilk. For the buttermilk, I like to add just enough for the desired texture. So I'm going to do 1/4 cup of sour cream, 1/4 cup of mayo, depending on how thick you want your ranch or how thin you want your ranch, you'll add your buttermilk. But I usually go for almost equal parts, so 1/4 cup. And to this, we're going to add some seasonings. We're going to add some garlic powder, some onion powder, and I stole some herbs from my neighbor's garden. So I have a little chive, a little parsley, and some of that dry dill that we used. I think I made you guys buy this for the filet of fish sandwich. We're using it again. I'm adding a 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of just regular salt, kosher salt. Then we're going to go in with the dill. Everything's pretty much a 1/2 teaspoon for all the dry stuff. You can always add more dill too if you like it to be a little more dill forward. To this, I'm going to add some chives. I want about a teaspoon of chives right in it, and then a teaspoon worth of parsley. We're going to finely mince it, and it's going to give it that nice bright green color. And we'll start with a nice heaping teaspoon. Now, I like a little bit of zinginess to my ranch, so I'm just going to add the zest of a 1/2 lemon. I would say that's like a 1/2 teaspoon of zest. And then I'm going to add a little bit of lemon juice, just a little pinch. And now we're going to just mix it all up. Now, this is going to be the sauce for the wings. And with buffalo chicken wings, I feel like it's usually pretty salty. If you wanted to use this for like a dressing, you might need to add a little more salt. I think that's it. Here we go. So now for our buffalo sauce, I have 1 stick of butter in here, or 4 ounces. I'm using Crystal hot sauce. This one's the garlic one, which is kind of hard to find. My uncle works there, so that's why I get all the like specialty stuff, though they still don't want to have a partnership with me. But it's okay because I still love them. So I'm going to add a 1/2 cup of hot sauce just right in. And if you can't find Crystal, you can use Frank's hot sauce, also works. Any favorite hot sauce of yours. I don't think Tabasco would be good because it's too acidic, but to add a little bit more of garlic flavor, because garlic is so good, I'm going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder to this. If you find like the regular Crystal hot sauce, add a little garlic. And now all you have to do is just melt this down, whisking it together so that the butter is nice and emulsified. So this is what it should look like. You just want to melt it down so that the butter melts, but you don't want it to cook so long that it breaks the sauce. And it's okay if it does. By the time it gets to your wings, the starch from your wings will make it all hug. Just gonna put this away. And now we're going to start on our wings. So here I have 2 pounds of wings, and we're going to season it. Now, I'm going to season it with some salt, some garlic powder, some onion powder, some paprika, some cracks of pepper. For the 2 pounds of chicken, I'm gonna do only 1 teaspoon of salt, some fresh cracks of pepper, a teaspoon of both onion powder and garlic powder, onion powder, and then 2 teaspoons of paprika. I like to make it kind of red before I even get the sauce on. And paprika is the flavor of spice, but it doesn't really have that, like, any heat really. And now we're just gonna mix this up. Make sure it's nice and coated. There we go. Just make sure it's evenly coated. And sometimes it's nice to have something like the paprika because then you could see if there's any naked wings. And now I'm gonna get about a cup of potato starch. You could use potato starch or you could use cornstarch. Potato starch is more, I think, classic for the Korean fried wings. But we're going to basically dust and coat all of the wings in this. So now we're going to dust our chicken in this potato starch. Dust it all around, just like this. And then I want you to tap it so it shakes off any extra and leave it on the table. You don't want to have too much starch kind of cake up. So just be really mindful of that when you're dusting it. And you want it in every nook and cranny because the potato starch is going to make it nice and crunchy. And just like any fried chicken, you kind of want this to sit for a few minutes so that it really absorbs all the chicken juices and it makes it nice and crispy, and that it won't just shake off once you put it in the oil. So my chicken is all dipped. They all look nice and dusted. And now we're gonna go fry. So here I have my wings. They're just sitting over there while I wait for my oil to heat up. Right now it's about 310, 320. I want it to be about 325. You can also check too if you put your chopsticks in, and if the chopsticks start to bubble, then you know the oil's hot enough. It's just starting to. So it's getting there. And we want to kind of go lower and slower in the first fry because we're going to fry it twice. And unlike most times when you fry stuff, I'm like, don't overcrowd it. This one, you can. We're going to add all of it. And we're going to let this fry for about 15 minutes. And chicken wings are very resilient. You know, you can kind of fry them for a while and they won't dry out. They're forgiving. I like to put them in, kind of separate them, make sure they're not sticking around. And my flame is at like medium-high heat. So we're going to go 8 minutes on this side. And then we'll flip them over. All right, I have about a minute left before I flip them, but you'll notice that like a little bit of blood is coming out of the wings. That's totally fine. When we flip it over, it'll cook the other side. But that's kind of what happens. It's totally fine. They'll cook, and it'll just be like a kind of like a gray little area. A few more seconds. I'm going to start flipping them now. 7 minutes. It's it all nice, evenly brown. And then we're going to pull them, and then we're going to increase the heat. We want the oil to be about 375, and we're going to throw them all back in and let them cook one more time. I have about 12 seconds. Look how golden that chicken is. And honestly, the chicken's already cooked and it's going to be crispy, but because we want it to be extra crispy, that's why we're going to double fry it. So we're going to take our chicken out. Just going to lay it on a rack. And we're going to let this chicken cool for about 5 minutes. You can hear this chicken sizzling. They're pretty crispy right now, but they'll sog out as soon as like they cool a little bit. And that's when we're going to fry them again. Now, if you are frying and you see little bits and pieces in your oil, you can definitely take a little strainer and kind of strain it out. You don't want these things to kind of burn and then stick to your chicken. Just a little bit. That's not too bad. If I didn't shake off that powder, the potato starch, it would have been more. So we're going to let that chicken cool for about 5 minutes. We're going to just heat our oil. And we want this to be around 375. And then we're going to throw all the chicken back in. And we're going to cook it for a little bit longer. So they've been frying for about 7 minutes so far. And you see how they're kind of brown? It's a lot of the paprika that we put on it. If you want your wings to not look so dark, just do it without the paprika. But I feel like once you put the sauce and everything on, you won't see as much. I have like 30 seconds left. I'm going to start pulling them. The ones that I find are very crispy. And we'll let them cool for like a minute or two before we douse them in the sauce. You can hear how crispy they are. All right, we're gonna go sauce them. So here I have the wings. They're nice and golden. Look at that. I'm gonna just dress them. So my sauce is here. Once it cools, you want to make sure you whisk it so that the butter is nicely emulsified. Sometimes you'll see the butter or the fat floats up. Just keep whisking and it will become a nice smooth consistency like that. I'm gonna just I hope you guys can hear how crunchy these bad boys are. I'm gonna dress just half of them right now so they fit nicely in my bowl. So now I have my sauce. Pour generous amount of sauce. Oh my goodness. Or like half of it. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. You could hear they like sound like rocks. They're so crispy. Now I got my little celery because we need some vegetables. I have my ranch. I have my wings. My goodness, I'm gonna burn my mouth. I know it. Gotta toss it. I like it to be real saucy. And you know, you can fry them and you can keep them warm and then sauce them whenever you're about to serve them so that you're not making them all soggy. Look at that. That looks so good. Put a little parsley for some color. And there you have it. I want to dive in, so we're going to do that. All right, guys. Look at that. I'm just going to find a piece. Chicken wing. Oh my goodness. I don't even need the ranch. I lied. I want it. But it's so crunchy. Messy eater. But cheers, you guys. Oh my god. I hope you guys like this recipe. And I'll see y'all next week. Try it. I really gotta go now.